cleaner shops and a
Yep.
sex shop. Can you talk about your origin
Sure.
getting into
Yeah.
business?
So like when I was growing up, I didn't have any money. My dad didn't have any money. So he delivered newspapers at night and fixed air conditioners during the day. And that's what I did. I helped him, deliver newspapers and fix air conditioners. And then one day, I needed to go to the dentist, didn't have any money. He didn't have any money. So I started selling everything that I owned. And everything I owned was basically car stair equipment. We used to do air conditioning for this manager over at BrainSmart in Florida. And, if the manager liked you, you just sell you a cost. And their cost was really good. So, I became an authorized dealer later, and I discovered that I was buying from the BrandsMart manager at 10% under dealer sheet. And then I became an authorized retailer and got worse prices, worse returns policies. And buying from the gray market from a larger company that got a better deal was vastly superior, I found out in hindsight, to actually being an authorized dealer, which was garbage. So, I was putting out, so after I sold the stuff, I'd use it for 2 years, sold it for about the same price I bought it for. And I thought, well, what if I put out ads for stuff that I don't have yet, but I know I can get a good deal on? And so I put out ads in a local newspaper called the Bargain Trader, and the classifieds for free. And people would call me and I say, yeah, I can get the stuff. Meet me at a gas station, give me half the money. I'll go get it, bring it back. You'll get the stuff. I'll get the other half of the money. And I did that over and over and over again until I had like $7,000 built up and I could afford inventory. And then I wouldn't have to drive every single time. I could take the popular products and just sit them in my room in my dad's house. And then, people buy the stuff and then they want to use it. And to use it, you got to install it. It's not plug and play. You got to wire it up to the car. So I started doing the installs. And then my dad would come home after doing air conditioning and his, parking lot there would be full of my customers and it would be hard for him to get sleep. So he's like, you got to get a store. And so, I got my first store, hired my friends from school. And, one guy would do the installs, one guy would handle the office stuff. We eventually got another guy to drive back and forth to the wholesalers. And that left me free to learn the next business. And so the next business for me was to learn shopping cart software, search engine optimization, learn how to get websites ranked at the top of Google for popular, expensive searches. So I got good at that. And then we got a client that started doing well with mortgages. I'm like, okay, well, I'll start a mortgage company. Got good with that. And then we're like, well, what else can we sell on the internet? And, miracle cleaners, sex toys, tried cash advance loans, failed. Thank goodness, because it's a scummy business.
Can you talk about that real quick? Because you did mention,
Sure.
Miguel said you mentioned something about this, the cash advance loans, that it was like taking
Sure.
advantage of people. Why is that
Yeah, it's
scummy
horrible.
business?
Well, I mean, in certain religions, you're not even allowed to charge interest on money.
Yes.
So, for instance, it's
In Islam, I don't
not
know.
okay in
Yeah.
Islam. And then it's if you charge people more than what they can pay back, you're basically enslaving them forever.
Right.
So, if you actually look at who the customers are of these cash advance loans, it's all Black women, literally. And people don't realize that. And so what you're doing is like you're turning Black women into slaves pretty much, because you're trying to race them when they get their check to empty out their account before they can, to pay back your insane 30,000% per year loans that, many states have made illegal, thank goodness, because it's not, these people are making bad decisions that will bankrupt them basically forever. And it's similar to like gambling. Like if you promote gambling, you're promoting very harmful behaviors for humans. If you promote people taking loans at interest rates that are entirely unreasonable, you're promoting behaviors that are bad for humans. And so the good news is we only did like maybe 10 loans, and then the people just kept the money and never paid it back, because that business is actually all about collections. If you don't have good collections, you just lose all your money.
Right.
You're losing money up front to hope to get more back later. So I'm glad that business lost money. It's the scummiest possible business. Like it's like loan sharking, but without the leg breaking. So
Right.
it's a terrible business.
And you had a sex shop? How did that work? And how did that end up?
Well, we had a store called XXX Toy Joy where we, tried to sell sex toys online. It also didn't do that well. I thought it would kill, because like people don't want to go into the store. Everyone's creepy in there. You'd rather just get it delivered to you, But I don't know whether people are like really sensitive to what they stick in their butts, or whether we needed better photos, or like, I don't know exactly why that one didn't work, but it didn't really work that good.
I'm gonna guess a lot of people are sensitive to what they stick in their butts. I'm gonna.
I don't know.
I don't know either, but I'm
I
gonna
just
guess.
keep everything out of there.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Exit
guess.
only. I have the exit only policy.
Exactly. Beautiful, beautiful. Hey, so
No,
you did this, and then you did multiple
I
businesses.
got
Obviously,
yeah,
some of these
I
were
got
very
up to
successful.
115. Yeah, I got up to 150 employees, and we were doing 60 million a year in turnover. And then I'm like, all right, you realize that money doesn't really do what you thought it would. It's just a lot of problems. You're eating the same restaurants, you're listening to the same music, you're watching the same movies, and you just start losing friends over like they steal money from you. And you're like, well, I guess we can't be friends anymore. And then you have to learn all the ways to make your friends stay honest. Like I'd rather lose money and keep a friend than like take more risk that I lose the friend and the money.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sucky, man. So I said, oh, well, you know what? I'll just go live like a king in Panama. It's only a couple hours away. Move down there, get the crap robbed out of me. Like,
So this is a really interesting story because you talked about bearer bonds and you talked about somebody actually stealing
yeah,
your house. I don't think anybody's ever heard of
yes.
this. Your house was
Yeah.
stolen in Panama.
Well, I mean, it's still a very common corporate structure to own houses with companies because it's easier. Like you can change ownership of the company and not have to pay transfer tax on the house. You know, there's like tax advantages. And in that country, they had bearer shares, which means if you hold the share, you own the thing. Like if you hold cash, you own the cash. If you hold a bearer share, you bear it, then you own, you know, the company, and then the company would own the house. And so some guy he had a fake shareholder meeting that, you know, maybe had fake shares or maybe just pretended there were shares there, then changed the ownership of the house, changed the name of his company, all this stuff. And I give the real shares to my lawyer. My lawyer used those shares to get the house back, and then he just kept it for himself. So my lawyer stole. So I get my house stolen by criminals. Then the lawyer stole the house, and then it was just like, now what am I supposed to do? And then I later found out that guy became a lawyer in prison, and you're like, oh, okay, I guess I got bad legal advice here. So, you know, when you think about the third world and you think about all the bad things that happen there, and everyone warns you like, don't go, and you're like, yeah, but I googled it, it's fine. It's not fine. You're going to get annihilated.
Yeah.
Like go good places that measure well and do really well in the, you know, corruption statistics. Like if you go on Wikipedia and you look up the corruption index, if where you're at is scoring poorly in the corruption index, it's a sucky place that sucks, and it's sucking for everyone there. It's just a matter of time until it sucks for you. It's like Miami. It's like I was just in the States at South Carolina shopping at Best Buy, and I got stopped by the police for shopping in Best Buy.
Why? What happened?
I was buying so much stuff that they thought I was doing credit card fraud. I'm
Ah,
like, no, it's me. This is my card. This is my ID, and they match. And now I'm not going to shop here anymore. So instead of helping me out and helping carry stuff to my car, you called the police on me, and you guys came in the store to interrogate me. This is all disgusting. You should all feel terrible.
yeah.
So like that never happens in the rest of the world.
Well,
The whole rest of the world, you're never getting pulled over by the police for shopping in a store.
When you
Never.
think about it, it's like a scarcity mentality. It is South Carolina, right? There's like impoverished people that live there, and you're right.
Well, it's more than just that. It's because Americans are so goddamn stupid. The rest of the world has chip and pin. There's a chip in your card. When you go put your little card in the machine, it asks you for your pin, and then you put your pin, and they know it's you.
Yeah.
But Americans are too stupid to figure that out. So instead, what they do is they use swipe. And swipe, there's no chip. And so swipe means anyone could copy your card.
Yeah.
You get a card reader, you get a card writer. Cost $100. Copy anybody's card. And so now everybody's really, really worried if it's really you. But if you had chip and pin, you wouldn't be really, really worried if it was really me because I'm the one that has my pin.
Right.
And then everyone would pay lower rates, and everyone would have less chargebacks, and everyone could buy more stuff, and you wouldn't have to call the police on people because it's a superior system. And you know what else solves that? Cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency also solves the chip and pin crap. You're like, yeah, you know it's me because look, I sent it to you, and you can't send it fake. There's no fake. There's no like, so, you know, cryptocurrency and chip and pin both solve the, I wonder if this is just a waiter at a restaurant using somebody's card that just paid for dinner. You know, like America's got a lot of problems now.
Was there
Not great.
was there physical intimidation when you were robbed in some of these? By the way, not just Panama, any other place where you felt unsafe when you were traveling. I'm always fascinated.
Well,
by
I mean,
this.
there was a 10-person home invasion in my house in Panama too.
Okay.
In addition to that, so like 10 people in broad daylight knocked out my guard, in addition to not caring about the building security, and then just emptied the place in broad daylight.
Well, you weren't
And this
there.
is all public record.
Oh, wow.
I wasn't there, but my girlfriend was there. So wasn't a fun time for her. She didn't enjoy that at all. Because she got tied up and, you know, had to open up the safes and all that.
Jesus Christ.
So not great. Yeah.
So,
Don't live in the third world.
I'm curious.
Escape.
Someone as wealthy and as well known as you, where are the places that you? I'm sure a lot of people want to know this. Where are the places that you feel are
Yeah.
safe?
Hey, everybody at home, do you want to know where I'm at? You can't tell.
Can't
You know
tell.
why?
Virtual private
Anonymous.
network. Yeah,
All anonymous. You don't know where I'm at. Yeah, I'm connected to you by proxy,
for sure.
and you can't tell where I'm at. And then, if I send pictures, I send them after I've already left.
Well, it's some
And
place
you
with
could
a
ask
lot of
Kim
sun.
Kardashian. You could ask Kim Kardashian how smart of an idea that is. I mean, she got robbed. She got tied up and robbed, and her security beaten up, knocked out in France, and she got her diamond stolen. So they're out here robbing Kim Kardashian and knocking her dudes out. It's open season on people. So it's like, I'll tell you guys where I'm at after I leave.